Hello everyone. The new feature I am adding to my game engine is support for Tiled. Tiled is a level editor that will allow us to speed up our game development time compared to using JSON files. So, to get started, let's head into our resources folder and let's look at our scenes, and we can see that we have no scenes. And if we were to run our game, it would close automatically. So we head into Tiled. We created a new project called Milestone. Let's create a new map. Keep all these settings the same, and for tile size, that's our scene units. We'll make them 100 each, and let's make the map infinite. Press OK, and here's our first map. Let's go ahead and save it, and we'll overwrite basic. Hit yes. Now let's go ahead and create a new layer. We can get rid of this tile layer, and we'll use object layer 1. Objects are our actors, so let's create a new tile set, and we will call it objects. And objects are collections of images, and let's save those as well. And now we can go into our resources and images and grab some images and drag them in. And we have some actors to play around with. We can think of these as prefabs that we will add into our scene. So let's go ahead and add some objects in. We use the stamp tool. And maybe let's start with a platform. So let's create a nice little platform. And put a ball above it. Let's save and export. Hit export as. We find our scenes folder, resources scenes. Make sure we select JSON map files, and we'll call it basic.scene, making sure we keep it the same name as game config. And now if we were to run our game, nothing happens because we need components, and one of the components we need is a sprite render. So let's go back into our prefabs. Under custom properties, if we add a property and choose string, we'll call this our first component. For type, we'll do sprite render. Type will do sprite render, and sprite we will do box1. Hit OK. We also need to add in a rigid body. So this will be our second property. Press OK. And let's add in our rigid body. And we'll put has trigger to false, and body type we will keep as static. Press OK. And then we can grab these two components, copy them, and put them on our ball. And let's make some adjustments. We'll change the sprite to circle. And let's keep it dynamic. Save. Here we'll save, and then we can quickly export with Control E. And then if we run, now we're rendering and we have some components. We can start to play around with it a little bit. So let's grab this platform, move it over a little bit. Let's duplicate it and add some more. Now we can grab these and rotate these, grab these and rotate these as well. Zoom out, and let's just add a couple more. Now we can take our ball and maybe let's add a third property, and let's put camera follow component so that we can follow this ball as it falls down. And let's set the zoom factor 0.5 so that we can see a little bit more of the scene at once. While we're at it, we can also grab the ball and maybe add a couple more friends during the fall. Let's go ahead and save, export with Control E, and run it. And now we've created a little game of marbles, and we are losing. Now maybe we don't like this background, so we can go back into our objects, go back into our images, and let's grab this mountain and drag it in. Let's give this mountain a sprite render and a rigid body. Let's set the sprite to mountain. And this time, let's set has trigger to true. And we'll set has collider to false. Hit OK. Save. Now let's go back in. Now, when we go to edit, we'll see that it is going above the pre-existing images. So we can create a new layer. Let's call this background. Now let's put it below our existing layer. And now if we were to add in some mountains, there we go. Let's save, export again. And now if we run it, and we've really quickly created a nice little marble game, which would have taken far longer to do if we were just messing around with JSON files. So as you can see, we create new scene files that are JSON files. And we're parsing through them in a new way and grabbing values as we need them. For the next week, I would like to integrate the source code into the game and see if there's a way that I can make adding components autocomplete, or at least give a cleaner interface than trying to type it all out yourself. I would also like to have one program launch with a UI where you can both edit and work on the scenes and components at the same time instead of having tiled open as well as running the game engine constantly. But yeah, this is our starting point for our new feature. Thank you very much.